Hi, I'm Georgie Frost and welcome to another edition of Money SOS, where we put your questions to the experts. Now, a lot of you get in contact with us wanting to start investing or to take it to the next level, but say that you lack the confidence or perhaps the knowledge. So today I'm joined by Claire Exley from Nutmeg to get some of her tips around investing and also how you can make the most of your money before the end of the tax year. You only have until the 5th of April, so not long to go. Claire, welcome. When it comes to investing, where should you start?
I think one of the things you said there is really important about knowledge. So think about what do you already know and what you need to find out. So think about, where you can get some of that information, seek help, guidance or advice if that's what you need. And then think about your goals. So we know that people who have a specific goal in mind and even name that goal, they're much more likely to continue on their investment journey. So think about what your goals are. Think about your time horizon. How long have you got until you want to realise that goal? And then work out how much risk you want to take. And again, you can get help and guidance and advice in trying to get some of the answers to those questions.
And as I said, how do you make the most of your money before the start of the new tax year? What's the advice there?
So in the UK, people over 18 have got £20,000 to use as an ISA allowance. That's use it or lose it. So if you don't use it before the end of the tax year, you can't carry it over. There are pensions allowances as well as we approach the end of the tax year, and individual tax circumstances can change and can vary, so you should really find out what applies to you and think about what you want to do before the 5th of April.
You spoke about getting tips and guidance and advice. Is investing something that you have to speak to a professional about before you get started, or can you do it alone?
So there are definite steps you can take yourself. So for example, at Nutmeg, we've got an app that you can easily download. You can take a risk questionnaire to understand your risk appetite. You can set goals. And then you can think about if you've got any preferences on how you invest. But you can then leave it to the experts to manage it for you on a day-to-day basis. So those investment decisions about where to invest, that can all be done for you. So some people really love, choosing their own investments, looking at what's happening in the market, spending the time and energy doing that research. But for others, they're quite happy to, get some guidance on some of their options, but then leave the day-to-day management of the investment to the experts.
We recently, at Times Money Mentor, spoke to a reader called Gareth. He's in his 40s, he's a high rate taxpayer, doesn't invest. What do you think that the reason is for that?
I think it is because people anticipate that it'll take a lot of time and energy, and also people can be apprehensive about making the wrong decision. And again, I think that's where it is worth, speaking to somebody, sense check what you're thinking about doing, but also thinking about, using some of the technology developments that we've got now. You can choose to spend a lot of time and effort on this if it's something you enjoy, and we speak to lots of clients that do and they want to get really involved and think about what's happening in markets. But equally, you can leave it to the experts. You can invest in a fund that's managed for you on your behalf, where you've got somebody else taking those day-to-day investment decisions, and you can speak to somebody and get some guidance on where to go next.
When is investing the right thing, or possibly you should consider it as the right thing to do, and when is it actually really not appropriate?
So I think a big consideration is your time horizon. So if you've got something that you want to do over the next sort of 3 years, probably you should think about cash and looking around and getting the best cash savings rate that you can. If you've got a longer term goal, so 3 to 5 years and onwards, then actually that's where the risk of holding your money in cash starts to come into play. So that's when you should think about whether investing is right for you. And then you should think about, are you comfortable with the fact that the capital value you hold will move around over time? It's a natural part of investing. Your money will go up and down in value. And are you comfortable with that? And can you cope both financially and emotionally with that being quite different if you've always invested in cash before? So I think if you've got those two things, if you've got the time horizon, if you're comfortable with volatility, then the last thing to consider is, have you got an emergency fund? So if something goes wrong, have you got some funds that you can access easily without having to make a decision around your investments that might not be right for you?
Claire, thank you so much for your time. Well, I hope that's answered some of your questions. We've lots more tips and information on timesmoneymentor.co.uk. Until next time.